In the early years of the Viking Age, long before the first ships set sail from Scandinavia to distant shores, the northern skies held mysteries beyond the comprehension of even the bravest warriors. The stars, which had always been a source of wonder and guidance, were about to reveal an even deeper secret. Chapter 1. The Arrival. It began as a flicker in the sky, a strange light moving faster than anything the people of the north had ever seen. In the village of Skjoldheim, nestled in the dense forests of what would one day be Norway, the chieftain, Bjorn Ironside, was the first to witness it. He had spent many nights under the stars, observing the sky for omens. But this was no omen. It was something entirely different. The light split the sky, leaving behind a trail of fire as it descended toward the mountains to the east. A sound like thunder rumbled through the air, shaking the ground beneath their feet. The villagers, fearing the wrath of the gods, gathered in the great hall, awaiting their fate. Bjorn, however, was not one to cower in fear. He was a leader, a warrior, and he knew this was no mere storm. He ordered his best hunters and scouts to track the source of the strange light. As they ventured into the wilds, they stumbled upon something that no man could have ever imagined. Deep in a secluded valley, the source of the light lay, an enormous, shimmering craft, unlike anything the people had ever seen. It was a metal ship, sleek and smooth, its surface reflecting the moonlight like a mirror. The air around it crackled with an energy that made the hairs on their necks stand on end. The men of Skjoldheim, trembling but curious, approached the strange object with caution. Chapter 2. The Visitors. The ship's hatch opened with a hiss, revealing beings who were unlike any human the Vikings had ever seen. Tall and slender, with skin that shimmered like polished silver, the beings stepped out of the craft with an eerie grace. Their eyes, black as the void, seemed to penetrate everything they gazed upon. Bjorn, ever the warrior, stepped forward, his sword held firmly in his hand. He spoke in the language of the north, demanding to know who they were. The beings, however, did not respond with words. Instead, they spoke through their minds, a form of communication that left the Vikings dumbstruck and disoriented. One of the beings, who appeared to be their leader, projected a vision into Bjorn's mind, a vision of a distant world, a world beyond the stars. It showed a civilization far more advanced than anything the Vikings could comprehend. The beings called themselves the Ithalari, travelers from a planet called Zalorn, on a mission to study the universe and its inhabitants. The Ithalari revealed that their arrival on Earth was no accident. For centuries they had been observing humanity, seeing in the Vikings a unique blend of strength, honor, and curiosity. They sought an alliance, a partnership that could benefit both their people. The Vikings, ever the explorers, saw this as an opportunity for glory beyond the seas. Chapter 3. The Pact. With a mixture of awe and disbelief, Bjorn and his warriors listened as the Ithalari explained their technology, a gift of the stars that could make the Vikings the most powerful force in the world. The Ithalari offered to share their knowledge of advanced tools, weapons, and navigation. But there was a catch. The Vikings had to promise to use their new abilities to spread peace and knowledge, not chaos and destruction. Bjorn, knowing the temptation of power, hesitated. But the promise of immortality in the stars, the chance to sail beyond the known world, was too great to resist. After much deliberation, he agreed to the pact. The Ithalari provided the Vikings with strange glowing stones, crystals that contained immense energy. These stones could power ships, forge weapons of unparalleled strength, and even heal wounds that would normally be fatal. In return, the Vikings would help the Ithalari establish a hidden outpost on Earth, a place where the Ithalari could continue their studies. They would also protect this knowledge from falling into the wrong hands, for not all humans would understand the value of such power. Chapter 4. The Age of the Stars. With their new knowledge, the Vikings became unstoppable. They built ships capable of sailing not only the seas, but the skies. The great halls of Skjoldheim were transformed into a place of learning, where the Vikings studied the stars, crafting weapons that could cleave through steel, and using the glowing crystals to create technologies that defied the laws of nature. Bjorn led his people to the farthest reaches of the known world, spreading their influence and forging alliances with other tribes. But with power came temptation, and not all of the Viking chieftains shared Bjorn's vision of peace. Some saw the power of the Ithalari as a tool for conquest, and soon the peaceful promise of the pact began to